Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day because we've got another revenge story for you today. This story took quite some time to play out. OP played the long game and the outcome is just as sweet. Let's get right into it. Expert revenge in a liberal arts world. My revenge story starts 5 years ago. I was a mere 25-year-old, leaving a world of mental health behind and entering into the world of post-secondary education. I had a job working at a small liberal arts college in nowhere, USA. The pay wasn't great, but I was good at the job and I liked most of my co-workers. I had a horrible supervisor, let's call him DC, as in disgusting creep. DC refused to train me and instead left it to the most senior worker on staff. This person was not only the husband of a boss's boss, direct report, he was also the relative of several other higher-up workers on campus. He believed he was untouchable, and so did everyone else. DC was at first kind, engaging, and all too happy to help train me. Twice my age and severely obese, it soon became clear to me that he was a narcissist. Thanks to my mental health background, this type of personality was easily detectable. He told me that I had nice TNA. I had to look up what this meant, tits and ass apparently. He tried to grope me in the break room, hallway, or other areas. He smacked my ass, would rub against me when passing in the hallway, and constantly asked if I thought he was the best counselor that existed in the world. He would claim he was too hot to actually have to work. He skirted policy, ignored phone calls and emails, and still somehow talked outside offices into believing that he could get things done within the office and should be the go-to person. Others in the office informed me that he would say sexual things to and about students and other colleagues, but it was never reported. I was too new and realized that he was too connected to complain to my actual supervisor. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I knew that my director was nearing 70 and would soon be ready to retire. The assistant director, my boss, was worthless and would never be advanced. Narcissist would always try for a director position, but he lacked the experience and education needed. My director left 2 years into my career at this university. I waited to apply as I knew that a joker would be transitioned out of one department and into mine. Making friends in other departments is helpful. He lasted a year as our new director, then left quickly for a higher position at another university. The second time the director job became available, I applied. The assistant director, who had been at the office 12 years, also applied, as did the narcissist. I waited for my boss's boss to let me know that they would like me to apply, and I did. I got the job as director. I only applied to get rid of the assistant director and DC. I have no interest in being a leader of anything, let alone a dysfunctional office and owning a 50-hour-per-week job in a highly complex field. I simply wanted the position to get revenge on Narcissist for his constant harassment and to help my other co-workers, who I knew were always covering for Narcissist, and trying to avoid him as much as possible. Assistant director moved on within 4 months. I knew he was looking for another job after being turned down twice for the director position, and I made a few phone calls to get him out of the office. He was toxic as well, but mostly just because he was cynical and lazy. He was not my main target. DC, the narcissist, told me repeatedly that I only won director because it was a personality or beauty contest, or because I was hired by men and I had the tits they were looking for and wanted to stare at in a meeting. He started a rumor that I sucked my way to the top. Everyone who knew me knew this was preposterous. Narcissist is the only one who couldn't see how much other people disliked and mistrusted him and the family connections he brought as baggage. For over a year, I've documented every failure DC has made. He has sexually harassed others, slacked off at work, shown up late most days, frequently taken long lunches, and has made a variety of enemies along the way. He's been doing this for 10 years. I've followed procedure and written him up. No one else ever would. Due to the awkwardness of family connections and the fact that he is such a nice guy when he's being his narcissist self. To make sure that others bought into my dilemma, I painted him as a nice guy that I really didn't want to discipline, but whom I couldn't figure out and I had no idea what to do. Firing him eventually became a goal of others and no longer my goal. Others finally bought the fact that he was toxic and needed to move on. Those in a higher position realized his devastation and wanted to help me out. Finally, over a year late, he is scheduled to be fired next week. Everyone is against him after some moderate manipulation and realistic presentation of the facts. I feel no guilt because everything presented is accurate, but I couldn't come across like a disgruntled harpy. I had to be nice to him every single day. I had to play a game every day. But eventually I have reached my goal. Due to narcissists' connections, I had to have the CEO, CFO, HR director, president of the school, and every boss in between sign off on firing him. I did. I can't wait to see his world crash down around him and the look on his face. Here's to hoping he doesn't try to shoot me or stalk me in the days following. I plan to start looking for new employment soon after he's fired. My work here is done. Give a man some rope, etc., etc. We do get an update on this, but before we get to the update, let me just say that OP, you showed great restraint, considering the dude has been harassing you for quite some time. I don't think anyone else in your shoes would have the patience and restraint needed to keep it together. And this guy is just disgusting, so full of himself, oblivious to the fact that everyone else around him hated him. Can't wait to see what happens next. Here we go. So today was the big day. DC and I initially met in my office, and I walked him to the meeting location. He chatted the whole way about how busy the office was today and how he has sacrificed lunch to make sure everything was taken care of, so I shouldn't worry about the office, blah, blah, blah. He had no idea what was coming, apparently. When we walked into the meeting area and he saw the sheriff and the other staff waiting on him, he said, "Okay, this is weird." We sat down together. I explained that he had failed to meet goals outlined in our last performance meeting. He denied this. I explained there is a variety of documentation outlining that this is the case. He demanded to see it. He was told we're not required to show him this documentation and nothing he does or says will change the outcome of the meeting today. We had a limited amount of time to get through the whole process and needed to stay on task. He was told that he's no longer employed and given several different severance options as a sign of goodwill. He began crying. This is always his mode when he knows that there is no way out of a situation. It has happened at every performance review. DC promised to change his behavior. He swore he had been working as much as possible to meet the goals. He was told again that nothing he says will change the outcome of the meeting, which caused him to breathe very deeply and grip his chair extremely tight. HR walked him through a variety of contracts and options. Once he chose an option, it was outlined in detail in legalese. He was quiet the whole time but maintained eye contact with the sheriff the entire time. I do believe that the presence of the sheriff made a difference in his ability to keep it together. Once it was all over, he was asked to turn in his keys, badge, and other items. He went back to his office and cleaned it out while being supervised. He took most of his things. The items he did not take, I've packed up for him later in the day. I shook Narcissist's hand and wished him good luck, like a man should always do. To his credit, he accepted this, but refused to make eye contact with me at any point. I've received calls from family and his friends, but of course have not taken them. Staff has been told just that he is no longer employed. There is little else I am legally able to tell anyone, including his family and friends. We'll see where it goes from here. I must admit the office is buzzing and happy today, mixed with a bit of confusion. I don't know that anyone saw this coming because he had gotten away with everything for over 10 years. Staff are mostly worried about the increased workload, but I know that we'll get through it now that we are a team. I feel lighter and less weighed down despite the increased workload. This is a good thing, and I am so glad that it worked out the way it has. I'm both happy and saddened that the story did not end more dramatically. Hopefully I haven't disappointed any of the readers. It's a win to be done with this, and I am looking so forward to moving on. OP, you took the professional legal approach to your revenge, which was quite clever. More or less still a desirable outcome. Him crying in the meeting room in front of other people, and the sheriff is just the cherry on top. There you go, folks. Wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Leave your comment down below. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you on the next one.